right match for a 2-1. Could be better, but definitely could be worse. Obosh, I choose you. Hand seems decent. This is an extremely mid-rangey type hand, but you know, that's kind of what you sign up for. I'm somewhat tempted to just play the mountain, because if this is burn, being able to lightning bolt their goblin guide and not take 2 damage is huge. On the other hand, I might also just cycle the Forgotten Cave. I mean, with 24 lands, there's a pretty good chance that I'll draw another one. So don't try this at home, as they say, but because I could end up severely regretting not being able to hit my 3rd land by cycling one of my lands, but I also don't want to let mana go to waste. So I'm holding this up, and this is one nice thing about Forgotten Caves. You can, okay. Oh man, since this is Tron, it's suddenly feeling a lot more risky, but see, we also need pressure though, so like, I might severely regret this, but this is the reality. If I don't draw like Swiftspear or Soulscar or something, probably these Blood Moons are just not going to do anything anyway. They're just going to start hard casting the Wormcoils, and see, they were doing another land anyway, so like all that anxiety, and we end up in okay shape anyway. Yeah, I might go back to Companionless. There is definitely a lot to be said about Obosh, but like, definitely having higher creature threat density definitely is very important in these type of matchups. And for some reason, Tron is like everywhere these days. I mean, our last matchup was Tron. I don't exactly get like what like, is Tron actually doing something better than Amulet Titan? I guess, because I'm definitely seeing more Tron than Amulet Titan. But Amulet Titan feels scarier, to be honest. But that might be more emotion than logic, perhaps. Well, gotta do this. There's no way around that. So apparently they have natural Tron, otherwise you'd think they would have searched for the last Tron piece. All natural Tron. And this is one nice thing about Obosh, is if I draw a land, then I get to curve into turn 5 Obosh. Maybe that could have been a reason not to cycle the Forgotten Cave. We did hit that Swiftspear we were hoping to hit. Just not on turn 2 like we were hoping. Please no Oblivion Stone. That's one reason why Tron can be kind of challenging. Ideally, you want to drop like double Prowess creatures turn 3, Blood Moon, put on the pressure, and then when they drop Oblivion Stone, then, you know, just try to win before turn 5. Unfortunately, we don't always get those types of hands, but on the other hand, they don't always get like amazing hands either. Yeah, Wormcoil. So we all saw that one coming. Okay. Well, that's our 5th land, so. Alrighty, I mean, you know, like, this is kind of slow, but I mean, at least Obosh really speeds things up once it comes into play. So there is that. Karn, the Good Creator, kind of seems like, or could be Blocking Ballista. I was gonna say, kind of the way their mana was staggering made me think they were feeding mana into something. Yeah, let's just drop Obosh. Only way we get punished for this, I think, is if somehow they play Lightning Bolt, or you know, Fire Sprout. And we'll attack because it will trade because of the doubling damage. But we have to play Obosh because that sets us up for the best chance to win before Wormcoil comes down next turn. Yeah, maybe there is some merit to Obosh because like it obviously it doesn't produce like as fast creature kills in the early turns of the game, but it does give you the ability to ramp up the damage acceleration once Obosh is in play. And that's the thing, like having the ability to win quickly, even like later in the game, like being able to like quickly switch from like a more controlling to a more aggressive role definitely is good. It's one of the main things I think that made Uro so powerful is like in the blink of an eye, the control decks used to be able to go from playing control to playing aggro. They can't quite do that the same way anymore. Might be some like workarounds, but that's kind of what we do sometimes with Obosh. Although not that we were, yeah, I guess we were kind of controlling with Blood Moon, you could say. I mean, we literally didn't do anything else besides play Blood Moon turn 3. We played Swiftspear turn 4, but like it's hardly like getting aggressive, so to speak. I'll be a little scared if they take, which looks like they are. So I don't know if this means they've got a Fire Sprout and they're going to combine Fire Sprout with Walking Ballista, or if this means they got Lightning Bolt and they're going to combine Lightning Bolt with Walking Ballista. I have seen them play Lightning Bolt before. It is very good against Mages of the Moon because our Mages turns their lands into cards that can cast Lightning Bolt. But I think Fire Sprout is more common. Sometimes they might play both, but I'm worried about Fire Sprout here because it'll deal with both my Swiftspear and my Obosh because they can combine it with the Walking Ballista. But if they don't have Fire Sprout and they pass the turn, then I think that's GG because I can lead off with Flame Slash on the Ballista, and then if they try to kill this in response, I can Lightning Bolt. They can try to put another counter on, but then I can Lightning Bolt again, and then that's way over 20 damage. So hopefully they pass turn. If they would have dropped a basic forest, I would have been kind of concerned about. Well, actually, this is game 1, I guess, so they probably don't have Weather the Storm. Normally, I'm always happy when they bring in Weather the Storm because we win through creatures usually rather than burn spells. So yeah, that was the smart move. But I still think we deal 18 damage here. Yeah, 6 and 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18. Yeah, so I think we still end up winning this. Overkill. Alright. Alrighty. Just leading off on Lightning Bolt just because. Alrighty, nice. Obosh for the win right there. We curved in. See, that's one nice thing about 24 lands. Sometimes we can curve right into Obosh and then we can actually win before Wormcoil comes down, which is nice. Once again, Flame Slash is kind of lackluster, and almost everything we'd want to Flame Slash, we could Shattering Spree anyway. So Shattering Spree is pretty obviously better than Flame Slash. You might think Shattering Spree is like not good against Tron, but it is actually, like we saw last game. It's, if nothing else, almost always it can hit one of those turn 1 artifacts, and it almost always will be pretty decent at that. And the unfortunate reality though is we don't really have that much else. If we had some Pillage, if only we could justify playing Pillage and Shattering Spree, that could be truly challenging for them. And or play Shattering Spree, Cleansing Wildfire, Pillage, and Blood. Oh man, the anti-Tron cheese them deck. I mean, Tron's trying to cheese like other mid-range decks, so I guess Death and Taxes is kind of like the anti-Tron cheese deck. He cheeses them with Okay, I just have to respond to some daily messages. But, yeah, let's see how this goes. Let's see, what game are we on? We're in game 4, yeah. Alright, so I'll be happy if we can go 4-1. Yeah, being able, if I can consistently 4-1, I mean, you know, needless to say, that will be very good. Biggest, you know, actually, heck, if I can even consistently go 3-2, 4-1, 5-0, I mean, well, can't complain about that. Like, that's where you really want to be. The problem is I've been getting like 2-3s sprinkled in here, and like, you know, it's felt a little inconsistent. All right, well, this hand seems possible to be good. It's always so much trickier on the draw, though. That's the biggest problem. Tron is not a great matchup. Make no mistake about it. It is winnable, mostly because of main deck Blood Moon, as we saw in game 1 in both games. It is winnable, but like a lot of that is also because we were on the play, or because they had kind of suboptimal hands that didn't. I think actually in match 1, or the first match against Tron we played, I think they were actually on the play, but they just didn't have turn 3 Tron. Like, that's the thing. If they're on the play and they have turn 3 Tron, then a lot of times there's nothing we can do. So sometimes it can feel like the matchup's genuinely bad. If you play like a number of matches in a row where they're on the play, and they get turn 3 Tron, which is actually, you know, I mean, there's like a 50%, there's like a maybe a 45% chance that happens. There's like a 50% chance they're on the play, and then there's like a most likely they're going to have turn 3 Tron, but you know, the fact that they're not guaranteed it is why it goes from 50 to 45, that they're both on the play and they have turn 3 Tron, something like that anyway. So yeah, we're going to Shattering Spree this, just decrease the possibility of turn 3 Tron. The next turn we have to decide whether we deploy Soulscar or we try to maximize our chances of drawing Blood Moon. I'm going to be inclined probably to fish for Blood Moon, unless they miss their second land drop, or they don't have... Yo, they miss their second land drop. Sweet. Sweet. So we will cycle a Forgotten Cave. Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes they get like nasty bad luck like this, but, you know. So, like, here's the thing. I mean, this could just be like wishful thinking, but I do think we're at least slightly favored against Tron. Maybe I'm just lucky though, because, like, you know, I've had some players say that, like, they just genuinely don't know how they're supposed to deal with the Tron matchup, and it feels like a bad matchup, and they ask for advice, and I don't know what to say, because, like, I mean, other than, like, I get that Tron is like, I've been there. I've played it against Tron enough to know that when you lose, you feel hopeless, and you feel like there's nothing you could have done. On the other hand, I mean, like, here, I mean, see, like, I mean, yeah, they got nasty bad luck, but, like, these kind of things happen too. So, like, all I can say is I think the matchup is fairly close to 50-50. It might just be wishful thinking, but I think we're slightly favored. But I do think we're fairly close to 50-50, and I think if you play the matchup a lot, and you just don't give up, like, you know, I don't think, like, obviously we could have given up that first game where Obosh pulled us through. You just don't give up, and, you know, I think it's fairly close to 50-50. Like, so unless the matchup is, like, filled with Tron, I don't think... Oh, excuse me. I don't think you need to, Oh. Man, this is where editing could have been good, but I gotta take this call. Alright, so picking up where we left off. Yeah, so basically, yeah, unfortunately I was on mute. I tried to record the rest of the game after the call, but yeah, anyway, unfortunately I inadvertently was on mute. But yeah, so there's not much really to say what happens here. Just you know, they're clearly quite a ways away from Tron here, and yeah, we just place these in Pyromancer. You know, we're a little bit worried that they might be on track to getting Tron, but you know, we do opt here. We had some choices. We could have, you know, either dug deeper for another Blood Moon, or tried to get a Blood Moon this turn, or put Obosh to hand to play it on the next turn. And we opted for the Obosh plan, and the reasoning was that, you know, they didn't play any like any hard. I mean, they did play Ancient Stirrings, but they revealed Urza's Mine, which does not actually put them to Tron. So, you know, our thinking was, well, unless they rip Tron off the top, I probably don't have Tron next turn. And you see, here we were going to jam Obosh, which would have put them down to 4 life if we would have played Lava Dart and Flashback, which would have been pretty good because that would have been a fairly good chance to burn them out from there. But since we ended up drawing Shattering Spree, we ended up just continuing to go down the path of just trying to capitalize on them not having Tron. So we just cycle a few Forgotten Caves to see if, like, I don't know, we draw another Lava Dart and then maybe we can just win on the spot, or at least almost win. We didn't, so instead we just Shattering Spree the Oblivion Stone, hope they don't draw Tron next turn, play Valakut, and yeah, and then go from there. Yeah, they were clearly thinking about playing a Walking Ballista, but they're just gonna use a Blast Zone. Instead we can just play Obosh, and they just scoop it up. Yeah, not much more to say here. Just yeah, they got kind of unlucky. I mean, like I was saying, I mean, Tron can feel unwinnable, but like then sometimes they get bad hands like this, and you know, sometimes also when we're on the play and we have Blood Moon and we have a good flock, sometimes it must feel kind of like they feel like they can't do much. So like it goes both ways. This matchup definitely feels very lopsided both ways. When they win, it feels pretty hopeless for us. When we win, it probably feels fairly hopeless for them, unless we eke out some damage at the end with like Obosh or something, which does happen, and this is why you shouldn't give up. But anyway, yeah, all right. We'll see how this league ends. We're 3-1. Like I said, I'll be happy with 4-1. Let's see.